Hello guys, earlier this week I announced on this channel that I'm moving from daily videos to more like serious structures or more in-depth content, series by series. And for this week, while I'm preparing more technical content, let's talk about freelancing. This week I've released a new video course, 15 Years of Freelancing, based on an ebook that I've released even earlier, a few weeks ago. And this week I will publish 5 videos from that course. So 5 different topics about freelancing, and we will discuss them with you in the YouTube comments. If we go inside that course, the full course is around 2 hours or almost 2 hours. It has 3 sections: my story of freelancer career, then advice and tips, and the third section is typical questions that I get from you guys. So today, let's talk about the number one question that I get from all potential freelancers: where and how to find clients. So for the rest of the week, I will publish 4 more videos after today's video. And if you want the full course, of course, the link will be in the description below, so you can watch all 2 hours about freelancing, including my own story, or you can purchase all my courses. Currently, this is the course number 30. I'm quite shocked by this number myself, but anyway, you can purchase all 30 courses with yearly membership, which will include everything I will release for a year ahead. And now, let's dive into freelancing, and today we're talking about where to find clients. Where to find clients. So here we get to the number one question for any freelancer. But before we answer that, we need to prepare. Imagine you do find the client somewhere and you start a conversation trying to sell your services. They ask you, okay, so show what you have done, what is relevant to my project. So first, you need some kind of website to show your portfolio. A typical website is a visual list of your work with screenshots, some more information and links. But that doesn't necessarily have to be a website. Quite often, a LinkedIn profile or a GitHub profile or social network of your choice, which is good for showing your work, is totally enough to convince the client that you are capable of doing something. If your LinkedIn contains a history of working at a credible company or multiple companies, that also should be enough. If your GitHub portfolio contains a lot of open source work or your projects, this is also impressive. The main goal is to show the client that you actually have done something. If you just say you have 10 years of experience with Laravel, for example, but you cannot show anything, that would not impress a potential client. Okay, so your goal when having the conversation is to send that portfolio to the client. Now, where to find those conversations? Of course, there are multiple sources. The first and probably the easiest way is to go to some kind of a freelance job board, like Upwork, and pitch your services there. I'm saying it's the easiest because you have a lot of offers there. You don't have to actively advertise yourself, you just answer the calls for help from potential clients. That said, the downside is the competition there. It is really fierce competition. Usually, one job gets 50 or more freelancers to pitch their services. As a result of supply and demand rules, the economy rules, it also brings the price down. So there's quite limited amount of money you can earn from job boards like that one. Especially if you are a newcomer there, you don't have any rating on that system. Rating there is hugely important. With better rating, you get better clients and better prices. The second way to find clients is to monitor social networks. Twitter feed of your industry, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, and others. So whenever you see a question like, is there a freelancer that can help me? Answer quickly, post a link to your portfolio, and try to win that project. Of course, it requires a lot of work to read a lot of posts every day and act quickly. But in the past, it did work for me a few times. Subscribe to the groups related to your skills, activate all the notifications to get the posts first, and then quickly and proactively sell your services. You may also post yourself to Facebook or LinkedIn groups selling your services, but from what I've seen, you have to be really careful with that. Generally, communities do not welcome such behavior of active selling. Such posts don't bring too much value to the group itself. So if you do that, then do it as a value-based article. So write some piece of content, valuable content, or long post or video or something like that. Then inside of that useful content, mention that you also offer freelance services. That works well. Another common way to find clients is to tell your network that you are available for work. You can use social media profiles like Twitter or LinkedIn, or you can directly tell your friends or former colleagues that you are free to do some work. They may refer you to someone. Actually, if you're planning to go freelance in half a year or so, you can start that networking even earlier. Try to remember all acquaintances and friends who may help you and prepare upfront. Get in touch, ask how they are doing, ask if they would need any help in the future, and announce that you would go freelance later in the year. Clients that come by recommendation usually pay way more money because you are referred by a trusted person. In the long run, your goal is not to find clients, but the other way around, for clients to find you. So my advice is to think about establishing your own personal brand. That's what worked for me when I started blogging about Laravel and then expanded that into a newsletter, YouTube channel, Twitter feed, and guest posts elsewhere. It wasn't a strategy at first, I was just sharing my knowledge, but the time showed that clients approached me after seeing my articles. Usually, such thing happens only after people see your content at least a few times, maybe even on different platforms. It establishes trust. So if you feel like you can put out content in whatever form you prefer, please do that, with a strategy of getting more work potentially in the future. Yes, it does require time and effort in addition to your direct freelance work, but in the long run, it may pay off massively.